Are we good? Are we good? Of course we are. Welcome. Welcome, my friends, to the Your Book, Your Voice coffee chat. Glad you're here. Do this every Thursday and keep it basically open forum as we talk about the audiobook world. I am Robert A. Lane. I am an audiobook coach and producer, and I specialize in helping nonfiction authors turn their awesome book into an audiobook that you, as the author, narrate. I'm just glad you're here. We are streaming live. We do this coffee chat live because it gives you an opportunity to get involved and ask questions and comment, because I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're a nonfiction author considering turning your book into an audiobook. As we do stream live on LinkedIn, we are streaming live on YouTube. We are also streaming live on Instagram. So glad you're joining. All right. So before we dive into our topic about your legacy lives on, because it does. And there's one great thing that you can do to solidify your legacy. And we're going to dive into that in just a bit. But also, I want to remind you a couple of things. First of all, Thursdays is live days, because on Thursday nights, we do the Your Book, Your Voice podcast. And tonight, I have a great guest. You're really going to be thrilled and excited and just uplifted, I should say, with my guest, who is Walking Crow. Anthony J. Rodriguez is his name. I know him as Walking Crow. I've always known him as Walking Crow, and I will continue to call him as Walking Crow because he's just a really cool dude. Anyway, he is a best-selling author. He is a shamanic healer. He is also a drum maker, and he has an incredible story to share, and you will be definitely enlightened and uplifted when you join the podcast tonight. So the Your Book, Your Voice podcast with my very special guest, Walking Crow, is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Go to the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel, and you click their little live tab to go to the live feeds. They do live shows all the time. Again, the podcast is live because I do want you to join in and comment and ask questions, and just love having you as part of the conversation. Now, those of you on Instagram, my Instagram friends, go to the link on my profile page, okay? Click that link, and it'll have a link that says join the podcast live, and that's all you need to do. Now, for those of you on LinkedIn and also on YouTube, the link to join the podcast is also in the comments, so you can check it out there as well. All right. So join me for the podcast tonight as we do it live. The other thing that I want to share with you is that I do have a free audiobook narration reference guide. It's my gift to you. It's a free download. There's a link on the graphic, as you see, for those of you on LinkedIn and YouTube, the link being a bit.ly link, which is bit.ly/narration reference guide. Real simple. Grab yourself that free guide. Gives you some great tools and techniques on how to do a great audiobook narration. And those of you, again, on Instagram, all of this is on my link on my profile page. It'll give you all the links to all these things that I talk about, so make sure you check that out. All right, so today our topic is about leaving a legacy, right? Your legacy lives on. Now, as a nonfiction author, you're doing great. That's part of leaving your legacy, right? You've written this book. I've written a book. You've written a book. It's published. It's out there for the world to enjoy. And that's great. That's leaving a legacy. Now, before I get into another great way of really solidifying your author brand and your legacy, is just anybody who's out there, if you've even thought about writing a book, or let's back this up and say this. All of you, every single human being on this planet has a story to tell. You all do. You've all had experiences and are maybe going through some experiences in your life that are important and that need to be told, because the experiences that you're having in your life can maybe help somebody. A lot of the authors that I work with in the audiobook coaching program that I teach as an audiobook coach and producer, I hear some great stories. And I hear some fabulous memoirs and just people who have gone through the ringer, and yet they come out smelling like a rose. They overcome their adversity. And those are great stories. Those are fantastic stories. So I think all of you have a story to tell. And what's important about leaving a legacy is because your story is your legacy. And you may think, who wants to hear about this or that, or it's not important. You are important. And your story is important. And it's worth to share. It's definitely worth it to share. That's why nonfiction authors publish their books, because they all have great stories. Especially if you're a coach. That's another great reason to leave a legacy. If you are any type of coach, or if you're an educator or a teacher or an entrepreneur, and you have knowledge to share, share it. Leave that legacy. It's really important for you to do that because you have something important to say. So believe in yourself and believe in your story. All right? Now, what's the best way to leave a legacy? Turn your book into an audiobook, hands down. And you turn it into an audiobook that you narrate yourself, okay? You narrate it yourself, not another narrator, definitely not AI, all right? That's cheapening your author brand, and that's a misrepresentation of who you are. And as other narrators are great. They are great, they're talented, they do a great job. But for a nonfiction author, they're not the ones who are the most qualified because it's still their interpretation, not your interpretation. That's why it's so important for you to narrate your own audiobook, because it is your story, your memoir, your coaching program, your education, your poetry, whatever it is that you write your nonfiction book about. This is your story. No one can tell your story better than you, period. That's why you need to narrate your own audiobook. Now, it's a great way to leave a legacy. And it's probably the best way to leave a legacy. Yes, it's great. It's great to have a book, right? It's great to have a published book, and that is leaving a printed legacy. That's great. But what takes that to the next level is when it's in your own voice. When you're telling your story the way that you experienced it, the way that you've written it, that is your unique voice. Your unique voice is already in your written word. So all you're doing is you're bringing it to life in your true voice. And not just your true voice, but your true authentic voice, because nobody can replicate you. Nobody can. That's what makes you so unique. That's what allows you to stand out in the crowd, because it's in your voice. The way you speak, the way your personality and sense of humor is, the way you were brought up, your belief systems, your habits, all of those things that encompass who you are is your author brand. And no one can replicate that because that's who you are. Now, as a published author, you are an entrepreneur. So you are the CEO of you. You're the boss of you. And making a great decision of turning your book into an audiobook is such a fantastic way to leave a legacy in your own voice for generations to come. I've said this before on other coffee chats and podcasts that, it would be great if we had this technology back in the day to hear people like Abraham Lincoln talk about his memoirs, or Leonardo da Vinci talking about art, hearing it from the source. It's too bad we didn't have that technology back then, but we have it now. And that's what's so important. So take advantage of that. As an author, it's a great thing you can do for your audiobook, or for your author brand, is turning it into an audiobook in your own voice. Leave your legacy. I'm going to toast to you. Oh, hey, by the way, you want to see my mugshot? Yeah, I got a mugshot right here. There it is. Remember this? This was such a long time ago when the whole generic brand thing was happening. If you even remember that. Anyway, toast to you. This is Coffee Chat, by the way. BYOC, bring your own creamer. It's virtual. What can I say? I would provide creamer for you if I could. But, at least I can toast to you for being awesome human beings as we share the elixir of life. Good stuff. All right. So I do want to toast you. First of all, just because you are an author and you've published your book, or maybe you're writing your book now, make sure you turn it into an audiobook. That's how you leave a legacy. That's how you leave a great legacy. Now, as an audiobook coach and producer, I do have an audiobook coaching program, which is called Your Book, Your Voice. And I would love to have a conversation with you to talk about your book, to talk about the goals that you want to do with your audiobook, turning it into an audiobook, and give you all the details about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program, and that I work with you one-on-one, step-by-step through the whole process of setting up your own recording space, which I do provide you with the professional equipment that you need to do that, teaching you the fine art of voiceover and narration and how to be compelling and engaging and authentic, all the things that you need to do a great audiobook. And then I do all the editing for you because I'm an audio guy. That's what I've been doing for 30 plus years. And I will edit and clean up and make sure your audiobook meets the exact specifications for publication, because we sure don't want that to get rejected, as I've seen happen. I've seen that happen. And you don't want that to happen. So we guarantee that you will be published properly the first time on Audible, Amazon, and Apple. You got to be on the AAA, Audible, Amazon, Apple. And if there are other distribution platforms that work for you, great. Then we can get you on there as well. All right, so the first step is to schedule a call with me. You can book a free, quick audiobook consultation call, and let's talk about your book, and let's get you enrolled in the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program. And again, for our friends on Instagram, go to that profile page of mine and click on that link and book your call, all right? That goes directly to my calendar. You speak to me directly. By the way, those links are also in the description there for YouTube and LinkedIn as well. All right. So schedule your call. Would love to hear from you. All right. Let's see. What else do I want to share with you? What I do want to share with you is this. If you ever have any questions about the audiobook world, if there is a topic that you would like me to discuss on this coffee chat, because I do keep this pretty open forum, though I do bring in topics to talk about, reach out to me, shoot me an email, a message, a DM, put it in the comments. And if you have suggestions for anything that you want to talk about regarding the audiobook world or just about the book world in general, then by all means, let me know. I'd be happy to talk about that. You can always go to robertlanecoaching.com and find out more about the Your Book, Your Voice audiobook coaching program as well. And what's really great is if you go to the homepage, right? So you can download your free narration guide. The button's right there to download that. That's my free gift to you. You can book your call. I got buttons everywhere. And then the other great thing about the homepage, if you scroll down, you'll be able to see or listen to clips from other authors who have gone through the program that I teach. And you can hear how they narrated their own audiobook. And it's great. These clips are great. These are not professional speakers. These are authors who have turned their book into an audiobook and did a fantastic job. And if you want to leave a lasting legacy in your own voice, turn your book into an audiobook. All right? Go to robertlanecoaching.com and book your call. It's that simple. All right, my friends, I do keep coffee chat pretty short. We do maybe 15 minutes. If we're on a roll, maybe it'll be a half an hour. But I do appreciate you hanging out. And again, if you have any questions about the audiobook world, let me know, and we'll talk about it on the next coffee chat. And also, again, I would love to help you turn your book into an audiobook. So reach out, go to my website, robertlanecoaching.com, and book your call. Okay, my friends, we're going to wrap things up here. So thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate you. We'll say goodbye to our LinkedIn and YouTube friends first. And by the way, assignment time. We don't want to forget this. This is for all of you. LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. When you're out and about in the world, smile at a stranger, say hello to them, give them a compliment. It takes 10 seconds of time out of your life. Nothing. That's nothing. It's a blip. But that small gesture of kindness can make the world a difference in somebody's life. And believe me, we need a lot of positivity in the world right now. So be a life changer. All right? Be a rebel. Be a rebel and do something positive. Don't troll around about how horrible the world is. Be positive. That's what we need in this world. And another quick piece of advice. If you're complaining or about things that are happening in the world, do something about it. Don't hide behind your computer screen and just troll around making comments. Do something about it. You want to make change? Then do something about it. It's that simple. All right? There you go. I'm going to toast you again because I love you guys, love your support, proud of you for being awesome authors, and I'm really proud of you if you decide to turn your book into an audiobook that you narrate. So cheers to you. All right, me and my mugshot are going to hit the road. Thank you so much, LinkedIn and YouTube. We'll be talking to you next week. Oh, by the way, I'm going to just pop this graphic in here one more time. For the podcast tonight on the Bold Brave TV YouTube channel, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific time, my very special guest, Walking Crow, who is a shamanic healer, a drum maker, and a best-selling author. So don't miss out on that. All right, my friends, YouTube and LinkedIn, take care. We'll be talking to you soon.